Your airline ticket did not just get expensive by accident. Same route, same airline, same small seat. But now the price can feel 2 or 3 times higher than it was just a few years ago. Most travelers blame greedy airlines, and that is part of the story. But behind that price is a much bigger chain. Fuel is more expensive. There are fewer real choices. Flights are packed, new rules are adding costs. And pricing systems now know exactly when you are desperate to book. So why does one simple seat cost so much now? The answer starts with the biggest cost airlines cannot escape. Let's start with the biggest factor. Jet fuel prices have absolutely exploded over the past few years. In 2017, airlines were paying about $1.50 per gallon for jet fuel. Today, that same gallon can cost over $4. That is not a gradual increase. That is a massive spike in just a few years. To put this in perspective, fuel typically accounts for 20 to 30% of an airline's total operating costs. When fuel costs jump this high, airlines have 2 choices. They can eat those costs and watch their profits disappear, or they can pass them on to passengers. Guess which option they chose? The recent conflict involving Iran has made this situation even worse. Oil prices have surged above $100 per barrel for the first time in years, and jet fuel prices follow crude oil prices closely since they're refined from the same source. Airlines like Delta have openly stated in their earnings calls that they're passing these increased fuel costs directly to consumers in the form of higher ticket prices. But here's what makes this particularly painful for travelers. Airlines use sophisticated algorithms to calculate exactly how much extra they can charge based on fuel costs, and they adjust those prices in real time. So when oil prices spike due to global events, your ticket price can literally increase while you're deciding whether to book it. The second major factor is industry consolidation, and this one is huge. Through bankruptcies and mergers over the past 2 decades, the United States airline industry has shrunk from dozens of major carriers to just 4 dominant players. American Airlines, Delta, United, and Southwest now control roughly 80% of domestic air travel in America. When you only have 4 major options, competition naturally decreases. These airlines don't need to engage in price wars anymore because passengers don't have many alternatives. If American Airlines raises prices on a route, the others often follow suit within days. It's not a secret plot, it's just basic economics. When there are fewer players in the market, each one has more power over the price. The situation is similar in other countries. Canada has essentially 2 major airlines, WestJet and Air Canada. In Europe, Air France-KLM, British Airways, and Lufthansa control the bulk of the market. This consolidation gives airlines the confidence to maintain higher prices because they know passengers have limited choices, especially on popular routes. The third factor is the post-pandemic capacity crisis that airlines are still struggling with today. When COVID shut down global travel in 2020, airlines were forced to make dramatic cuts to survive. They retired older aircraft, laid off thousands of pilots, flight attendants, and ground crew, and reduced their flight schedules to just 20% of normal operations. When travel demand returned, airlines discovered they couldn't simply flip a switch and return to pre-pandemic capacity. Training new pilots takes years, not months. Acquiring new aircraft involves waiting lists that stretch years into the future. The result is that demand for flights has fully recovered, but the supply of flights remains constrained. Combined with ongoing pilot shortages and difficulty replacing the planes they retired, this staffing mismatch has been a major factor in rising airfare. Airlines are operating fewer flights with older, less fuel-efficient aircraft that cost more to maintain. According to Oliver Wyman's analysis, the global average fleet age increased by nearly 1 full year in 2024, rising from 12.5 years to 13.5 years. Operating these older jets means higher maintenance costs and higher fuel consumption per seat. Since airlines need to maintain profitability with limited capacity, those extra costs get passed directly to passengers in the form of higher ticket prices. The supply of flights simply cannot keep up with the demand to fly. The fourth factor that most travelers don't realize is impacting their ticket prices is new environmental regulations. The European Union's Refuel EU regulation requires airlines operating in Europe to use at least 2% sustainable aviation fuel starting in 2025, with that mandate rising to 6% by 2030. Sustainable aviation fuel costs significantly more than traditional jet fuel. According to IATA, these new environmental regulations and associated compliance fees could add approximately $1.2 billion in surcharges for European airlines in 2025 alone. Airlines aren't absorbing these costs, they're passing them directly to passengers. Labor costs are also skyrocketing across the industry. In 2024, average airline industry salaries increased approximately 8% year over year, making it the fourth straight year of significant wage growth. IATA reported that labor costs will reach $253 billion in 2025, a 7.6% increase compared to 2024. Airlines like Lufthansa lost roughly 400 million euros just on pilot strike settlements and operational stops in early 2024. These massive labor costs, combined with new environmental fees, create constant upward pressure on ticket prices. The fifth and final factor is something that directly targets your wallet. Airlines now use artificial intelligence and dynamic pricing algorithms to extract the maximum possible price from every single seat. These systems analyze your booking patterns, competitor pricing, historical demand, and current seat sales to determine exactly how much they can charge you. On a typical U.S. domestic flight, there might be 10 to 15 different price points for the same seat. The AI constantly adjusts these prices based on real-time demand. If you're booking a popular route during peak travel season, the algorithm sees high demand and raises prices accordingly. If you're one of the unlucky passengers booking last minute, you'll pay the highest prices the system thinks the market can bear. This isn't the old days where airlines posted a fare and stuck with it. These algorithms update prices multiple times per day, sometimes multiple times per hour. They're designed to capture every dollar of consumer surplus, which is economic speak for charging you the maximum amount you're willing to pay, rather than what the flight actually costs to operate. Here's how all these factors work together to create the perfect storm of expensive airfares. Higher fuel costs create a baseline increase that affects every flight. Industry consolidation gives airlines the market power to maintain those higher prices without fear of competition undercutting them. Reduced capacity from the pandemic means there are fewer seats available to meet demand. Environmental regulations add additional costs that must be recovered, and AI pricing systems ensure that airlines capture the maximum possible revenue from the limited seats they have available. The result is an industry that's fundamentally shifted its business model. Airlines no longer compete primarily on ticket prices. Instead, they compete on premium services, frequent flyer programs, and credit card partnerships while using their pricing power to maintain high base fares. This isn't a temporary situation that will resolve itself. It's the new normal for air travel. If you're planning to travel in the next year, understanding these factors can help you make smarter booking decisions. Book early before AI algorithms push prices even higher. Be flexible with your travel dates to avoid peak demand periods, and consider alternative airports that might have more competition. The days of cheap last-minute flights are essentially over, so planning ahead is now more important than ever.